Right, time for race 19 of the meeting, and it's Junior Rotax, Heat 6, Groups B versus C. Let's have a look at your starting grid. One of a handful of drivers that have taken victories here today. Nikita Nikishov will start from pole position, and alongside will be joined from representing the Netherlands, Boris Maximov. Diers van Wijk and Germany's Noah Janssen ran out the top two rows, and it's an all-British row number 3. With Thomas Ingram Hill and Cameron Nelson. Raymond Bansal from India and Thomas Behrman from the United Kingdom ran out the top 4 rows, with Finland's Rasmus Koskinen and Italy's Alberto Kiko Fracassi rounding out the top 10. Nemanja Jovanovic from Serbia and Santeri Laitunen from Finland, row number 6. Row 7 from the UK, Charlie Neve, and from Germany, Julian Kovacevic. Jimmy Kokalainen from Finland and Thomas Rudokas from Lithuania ran out row 7, or row 8, and rounding out the final row of the grid, row 9, Armand Hamilton representing Hungary, and representing Colombia, Santiago Medina. The drivers head into the tram lines. Are we ready? Are we steady? Lights are out. We are underway for the final Junior Rotax heat, and it's a bit too close for comfort going into turn 1. Someone has spun around big time backwards into the barriers, and that is the 230. That is Boris Maximov from the Netherlands trying to move the barriers out of the way, trying to jump into the cart, and he's fired up the engine and he's got back out on track. Well, I did say it was a bit close for comfort, and Boris Maximov is now going to try and just make sure that the kart is okay. So he had started on the front row, and that just goes to show how quickly things can change. But Nikita Nikishov has the race lead ahead of Diers van Wijk. Thomas Behrman now up into what is from 8th on the grid to P3. Side by side coming through turn 14 as Behrman now goes for second and gets it. A great bit of work from the 259 from Chelmsford, and now he's going to go after Nikita Nikishov. Kiko Fracassi and Charlie Neve battling away through into turn 1. They were line astern. Someone did a bit of a send right there. Going through into turn 1, that could have been possibly Thomas, well, it was definitely a Tony Kart chassis, maybe Jimmy Kokalainen. So the top 3, when they crossed the line, were covered by just over 6 tenths. Thomas Ingram Hill currently rounds out the top 4. As now Diers van Wijk now returns the favour through turn number 12, and then instantly Behrman gets straight back up the inside of the 246 with no hesitation whatsoever. Brilliant response there by Thomas Behrman, saying, well, if you're going to send it through the inside of the hairpin at turn 12, I'll get you on the next right-hander. Exactly what he wanted to do. And now Thomas Ingram Hill is gunning for 3rd. Through into the right-hander at turn 1. Up the incline now through the right-hander at 2. Into the left at 3. Now Ingram Hill up the inside of Van Wijk through into turn 5. The Dutchman responds through 6. And this could allow Noah Janssen to close up. And the 2-3-1 from Germany is there. Ingram Hill up the inside through turn 8. That opens the door. Noah Janssen also gets through. And Kiko Fracassi also makes the move as well. So within 2 to 3 corners, Van Wijk drops all the way down from 3rd to 6th position at the drop of a hat. And there is Nemanja Jovanovic waiting in the wings in the 2.11. And Boris Maximov, unfortunately, after that turn 1, lap 1 incident, is out of the race. Santeri Leitonen, I'm afraid, did not start the race itself. There's another move up the inside through into turn number 16. Now that would have been behind Piers Van Wijk. There was Armand Hamilton on Nemanja Jovanovic. The 2.11 managing to get through. And another change for position. Fracassi up the inside of Janssen. So the Italian trying to make some moves early doors. Van Wijk up the inside of Janssen as well through turn 5. Janssen shuts the door on Jovanovic, which could open the door for Hamilton very, very shortly. But also, again, Jovanovic managing to get through. So does Hamilton on Janssen, and the German wrestling with the steering wheel, trying to turn the cart to keep it on the racing line. Van Wijk up the inside, through into turn number 16. That would have been on Fracassi. And that's a change of position for what will effectively be 4th place. Hamilton up the inside of Jovanovic to now take what will be effectively 6th position as they go up the hill once again. Hamilton looking very, very racy indeed. An ascend and a half from Charlie Neve through on Noah Janssen on the inside of turn number 5. Down the hill they go again. And on the approach into the turn 12 hairpin. Thomas Ingram Hill is leading the charge, and there's been a 5-second penalty issued to Cameron Nelson in 10th place. I'm not too sure if that might be for a push on that one, but I will wait for, and that is for a pushing penalty for Cameron Nelson, who will drop down towards the back end of the field. Just over 60 seconds to go for juniors here on Heats Day. And Nikita Nikishov looking to become the only other driver, apart from Kasper Schurmans, that will have won 2 heats today. Jovanovic up the inside of Hamilton, and also Ingram Hill at the same time. Great move there from Nemanja Jovanovic, and Hamilton nearly making it 3 abreast. Up the inside of the Serbian goes the 2.12 and pulls alongside and pulls past. Ingram Hill can nearly make this 3 wide into turn 16, and he does. They're 3 abreast. Hamilton still stays ahead. Great work by the 2.12 to stay in front of everybody, and look at the train that Armand Hamilton is bringing along for the ride. I count at least another 6 carts, and then I think that's Ingram Hill back up the inside of the 2.12. That is for 5th place. Azul is getting a bit too close for comfort. The accordion effect might happen, or a little bit of a touch on the back bumper of Cameron Nelson, the 2.41 from Dan Holland Racing, as they went through turn 6 and 7. Timer has expired, as Nikita Nikishov now has over a 1.3 second advantage over Thomas Behrman. Now looking up the inside of Cameron Nelson is Nemanja Jovanovic, who gets through. Nelson has to run a little bit wide. There's also the 2.60 of Charlie Neve. But out of the final corner, one more lap remains for Spain's Nikita Nikishov. Thomas Behrman nearly a second and a half adrift as Armand Hamilton tries to go side by side. There's a little bit of a sidewall rubbing between the pair going into turn one. Hamilton gets through. Jovanovic is there as well. Nearly has a little bit of a touch between the pair of them. There's a couple of bits of bumper touching there between the pair, but Ingram Hill still stays ahead. Charlie Neve waiting in the wings. So is Germany's Noah Janssen. And it looks like the rest of the field are pretty much with them as well. All the way down to Jimmy Kokalainen. The top 14 covered by 8.8 seconds after 7 laps of racing. But just a handful of corners make that 3 of them. And it's going to be another way to sign off here on home soil for the 2-2-0. Nikita Nikishov has done everything right in this race. Out of the final corner, Nikishov does the double and joins Schurmans as a double heat winner today. Thomas Behrman rounds out the top 2, 1.35 seconds behind. Thijs van Wijk from the Netherlands rounds out the top 3. A strong finish for the young Dutch driver in the 2:46. Alberto Kiko Fracassi from Italy. Armand Hamilton representing Hungary. Thomas Ingram Hill, Nemanja Jovanovic, and there is the exaltation. There is the sign of joy from Nikita Nikishov after taking that race win. Charlie Neve, Noah Janssen, Rasmus Koskinen, Thomas Rudokas, Jimmy Kokalainen, Julian Kovacevic, Cameron Nelson will end up down in 14th at the end of it. After the push, well, actually, will drop down to 16th. Behind Raymond Bansal and Santiago Medina from India and Colombia, respectively. And unfortunately, after just a couple of laps, Boris Maximov pulled it into the pit lane, knew the damage was substantial, and could not take any further parts in the race. Santeri Laitinen from Force Racing Finland not starting. So the final junior Rotax race got underway here on Heats Day with drama unfolding. A turnaround for Boris Maximov sent the Dutchman backwards into the barriers, exit stage left, and that was his final race of the day. He was eliminated pretty much on the spot, and the body language tells the story. Great battling up and down the order, including with the likes of Alberto Kiko Fracassi and the 2-6-0 of Great Britain's Charlie Neve. Thomas Behrman got through after a great exchange with the Netherlands' Thijs van Wijk and would end up second. Some great battling here with the likes of Thomas Ingram Hill, who also gave a good account of himself and gave the others something to think about. And also with the opportunity of him getting through, and then also the likes of Kiko Fracassi from Italy also making their mark down the hill. Fracassi would then go on to slingshot past Noah Janssen into turn number 1. And then some great exchanges with the likes of Armand Hamilton making it nearly 3 wide, coming out of turn number 14 and getting the run on Serbia's Nemanja Jovanovic. Thijs van Wijk touching the back bumper, the back left of Thomas Ingram Hill, putting the Brit sideways. Jovanovic again showcasing prowess, getting 2 for the price of 1, getting past Ingram Hill and Hamilton into turn 12. But then more gesticularity, 3 wide on this particular moment, with Jovanovic in the centre and Hamilton threading the eye of the needle, finding enough room to pulling alongside the Serbian in the 211 and slingshotting past. But then there was also this kind of action we saw going through into turns 1 and 2, with Jovanovic mounting the curbs. Ingram Hill going around the outside at turn 2 and managing to get through. But Nikita Nikishov shone for Spain on home soil, taking another heat victory today, ahead of teammate at KR Sport, Thomas Behrman, with Thies van Wijk rounding out the top 3.